All right, I'm on the Nashville Public Library site looking for their databases. You have access to this as well as a Davidson County resident. So we're going to scroll down until you see literature. Click on that because it's going to be the most applicable to your project. You have a couple different sources here: Literature Resource Center, Literature Criticism Online, Novelist, WorldCat. All right, so what I want to start with is the Literature Resource Center. You could probably find everything you need here. So let's start with Things Fall Apart because that's the novel we're doing in class, but you could put in your text or your author or even potentially your theme here in the search. All right, so I'm just going to search like this, just search. All right, you see over here content types. There's a ton of different things. What you're going to want to focus on for this project would be literature criticism. So I'm going to click on that to narrow down my search. All right, if I scroll down, I can also see more. How about subjects? Maybe I want to do, hold on, where is it? Where is it? Colonialist criticism. Now I've narrowed it down just 3, but these are colonial criticism essays, right? So you can click on one. Let's take this one here, right? Click on it to see the full text. Okay, in the following essay, this author defends the argument that Achebe's work is more revolutionary than is generally believed. All right, and so then you can see the full text of the article here. Something that's good about databases, okay, this is a really long article. You're going to be able to save it. You're going to be able to email it to yourself. At the bottom, you're going to be able to see the author's citations, right? So you don't even have to do, here's MLA 7th edition. You can just copy and paste that, right? Copy and paste right there in order to have the proper citation for your works cited at the end. If we scroll back up to the top, these are some easy ways right here. Citation tools, email, download, print, highlight in notes, save it, download an MP3. So apparently maybe this one will read it to you. Listen here, right? You can share it in different ways. You could even translate it to a different language, right? So this has a lot of information for you, right? I definitely recommend emailing it to yourself. And if you need to listen to it in MP3, you can do that as well. You could even listen to these articles as you're going to and from school. All right, so that's the Literature Resource Center. Then we also have Literature Criticism Online, which is a second database worth looking at. All right, now I'm going to switch to the Tennessee Electronic Library. You have that link as well. All right, so we are going to go down here to the Tell Shortcuts, click on Research, and you've got Gale Power Search, but I want you to go to the Gale menu of databases. This is a really extensive list of databases that you can use for my class, but many others as well. This will be available to you next year in college, plus whatever college you attend will have even more. So as you're scrolling through, you can see a ton of things that might work for you. So let's look at a couple more in depth. All right, keep scrolling down this list until you get towards the bottom, and we're going to look at, here they are, Scribner Writers on GVRL and Twain Authors on GVRL. All right, so here are different resources that you can look if you want to look a little more in depth. This is an entire collection of essays on African writers from 17 countries, African American writers. So you can search your the same way. So let's put in Things Fall Apart, search. Okay, and so if we want to look at critical essays again, okay, so you can see here Chinua Achebe, William Butler Yeats, right? This is probably going to be in reference to the poem that we've already read. So we can click here and see what we might find. Okay. So this is going to be a more basic overview, but it will have the critical essay components as well. Just like before, you can have the citation tool, email, download. This one has a listening tool as well, so you can listen to it as an MP3. So that's the Scribner Writer series. It's going to focus more on the author, himself or herself, than the text. If we go back, same thing with Twain's authors. This is another series to kind of look through. Right, so we're on the subject of literature. let's pick Things Fall Apart Again. See what happens here. So topic overview, critical essays. They only have 3 critical essays, but here we go. You can find some critical essays that may or may not relate to that. You're going to have to dig in a little bit more. Okay, so those are 2 sources that you would find on the TEL. And then this is another good one. If you keep scrolling down, Artemis literary sources will be your last one, right? Same thing. You're going to search whatever your book or your author. Okay, over here, literature criticism. They have 2,000 pieces of literary criticism over Things Fall Apart. You can scroll down and see different subjects, who's it about, the name of the work, the publication title, like where it was published in particular. So you wouldn't want to do, say, a New York Times book review. You'd maybe want more of the literary criticism or research in African literatures. You can click on critical essay. Same type of thing. There's a lot of information, and when you get on these, it's going to look a little different, but you still have a citation tool, email, download, the ability to highlight and take notes, listen to it as an MP3. And just remember, the citation tool is really helpful. It switches between APA and MLA. We're going to use MLA, so you would just be able to seriously just copy and paste and put it into your essay.